Hello, hello. Upper one students. This is Mr. Marques, and in this class, we're going to see the part of the book we worked with during Unit 2A, which brings a quite controversial topic. People think differently. Right here, doctor. It talks about problems that we have on in our body, right? And we started by speaking about these myths or facts about first aid, because of course in our culture we have lots of different treatments for the same thing. Okay, for example, there is a burn, you burn your finger or you burn your hand, what should you do? So some people say, oh, put your hand under running water. No, put your hand in a nice thing, or no, put some butter around your hand, or and etc. So here, first aid, which is primeiros socorros, right? First aid can help treat a minor injury or even save a life, or the opposite. Okay, in a medical emergency. However, it is important to know what not to do. Sometimes incorrect first aid can actually be more harmful than helpful. Okay, so instead of doing something good, you end up doing something bad. So, how useful is the advice you've heard? Okay, do the quiz. So, we did this quiz here. Each person had a different opinion about some of these things. And believe it or not, we even found out that some advice that the book brings are to us, and because there are students who are medical students or who are doctors or who are nurses, etc. They say, okay, we should never do that. So don't trust the book. Okay, trust what you have learned in your life. Okay, so it is M for myth and F for fact. Okay. What's the first thing you should put on a burn? Butter. No, it's a myth. Okay. Cool running water. All right. An ice pack. Ice pack is myth, but it's a fact. Cool running water. Number two, how should you treat a sprained ankle? Okay, it twisted. So what should you do? Put hot, damp cloth on the ankle. It's a myth. It doesn't help. Put an ice pack on the ankle. It's okay, right? Because it's an hurt, right? Put the leg up. Example on a chair. That's a fact too. So these things help. What's the best thing to do for some with hypothermia? Hypothermia is when your temperature goes down. You feel cold, right? So rub rub their arms and legs to warm them up. It's a myth, doesn't help, according to the book. Okay, give them a brandy or hot coffee. Okay, put some cachaça for him. It will help. This is a myth. Okay, the person may feel better in other ways. Cover them in something warm, example, a coat or blanket. This helps according to the book. Okay, this is a fact. And okay, someone is choking, right? What's the first thing to do? Stand behind them and press their stomach inwards. Okay, I have seen many people doing that, saving lives doing that. Okay, you go to the back of the person, you get the stomach, adults, okay, and you press the stomach and the person puts out what has been causing the choke. But it says it's a myth. Well, I don't know. I mean, nobody agreed. Everybody agreed that it's a fact, right? That's a mistake here. Make them continue. Make them continue to cough, cough hard. This is a fact. If you help the person to cough, and hit them on the back. Well, if the choking is caused by couscous or something like that, okay, right? So you hit on the back and it will help. But again, okay, doctors will say something that is more useful than what I'm saying. What's the best thing to stop nosebleed? Nose bleeding. So affect, okay, tip your head forward, like do like this, okay, tip your head or pinch pinch the soft part of your nose. This is a fact. Put your head backwards. Okay. It says a myth, but in my house it has happened. A doctor, a pediatrician said for me to do this, for us to do this, when our son was little, and it worked. It has worked, and it works until now. But okay, it's a myth. Number 6, after you have cleaned the bad cut, what should you do? Okay, it's a fact. Put on a bandage. Okay. Another fact, put on antiseptic cream. And it's a myth, leave it open to the air. So this was it. We had a very nice discussion about this, very heated discussion. Then we had this pronunciation stuff here, which is very important. Okay, the sh sound, the j sound, the ch sound, and the k sound, right? Like ache, allergic, bandage, choking. Very, very important to pronounce these things correctly. So we had this, and these are the answers. Please take a photo or pause the video and do in your thing there. All right, so it's here. So here you say infection, pressure, rush, unconscious. I exaggerated. Allergic, bandage, emergency, injury, choking, temperature, ache, sick, stomach. Right, so these were the answers. And let's move on. Okay, in this unit, we also talked about, here there are some small talk things, right? So we had some breakout, a moment in breakout rooms, right, for people to talk about this and then come to the main room and share what they heard from their partner. So this was good, right? But there's a lot of talking in this one. Over here, I played the track. I played a piece of listening for students to complete, right? So, this is especially for you to notice connection. So it was a good exercise. Okay, so this is it. These people, they are talking about moments they had to either apply first aid or receive first aid, and it was pretty good. Right? Here you are. So we've got the answers here. I can make them a bit bigger this way. Okay, for you to see. Here you are. Right? Daniel, and then Allison, the lady. Yeah, very well. So let me zoom out. Let's go to the next pages. Here, this was homework, Confessions of a Cyber Contract. Cyber contract is a person who depends a lot on what they can find on the internet, especially for healthcare. Like you have a headache and a continuous headache, so you Google it, or you go to other search engines like Bing or Ask or Yahoo, and you try to find answers, right? But they are not doctors. But again, right? So you read this, but it was not read in the class, right? It was in your home. And in the reading, there are these expressions and words which are highlighted. Here you are. And these words, their meanings are right here. Okay, back to page 19. And what do they mean right here? Open heart surgery, right? Miracle cures, under the weather. This is a very, very common expression, right? IDM stands for idiomatic expression. Okay, it's an idiom. Scare stories, and etc. Right? Heart rate. So these are the meanings of the highlighted words in the text, right? And then we talked a little about this. Let me put the answers here for you. Right? It talks about the paragraphs, right? So you did this as homework. We didn't read in class. And this is it, right? We had a small talk about this one here. If you know anybody who is a hypochondriac or a cyberchondriac, or a hypochondriac, those people who depend on medicines for everything, they have a little headache, so they never think it is because of lack of sleep or because they're not eating properly or because they're working a lot. They think medication would be the solution to that, and they keep on having lots and lots of medicines, and that's it. Okay, well, after all, this was what we worked with in Unit 2A. Thank you. See you in